Hi, Scott Orlin with CINEMA-Magazin. It is my pleasure to welcome Alexander Skarsgard for the new movie, The East. This is a really interesting story, and I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the character of Benji, because from an outsider point of view, oh my God, he's a cult leader. But I probably have a feeling you don't think of him that way, because he's so charismatic and people get seduced by his...
Yeah, but he's very adamant early on when Sarah, Britt Marley's character, when she shows up, and she calls him, she says something about you and your followers, and he's very adamant about the fact that I don't have any followers. There's no hierarchy here. It's actually a true functioning democracy. You know, we discuss everything, we vote on everything, because he hates the idea of being like a cult leader, because that means that you follow someone blindly. You don't think for yourself independently. And the whole idea of the East is they question everything and they discuss everything. I think that's also why he's intrigued by Sarah when she shows up, because she does ask difficult questions, and she does question him, and he likes that. That's kind of why he invites her to stay.
Now, they live out in the middle of the woods, there. I was wondering, is that a getaway for you? I mean, you grew up in Sweden, you live here in Los Angeles too, but would that be an idyllic life, just to kind of be in the middle of nowhere?
I mean, I grew up in South Stockholm, and it's an urban area, so like it's very. I didn't grow up in the woods, but I love spending time out in the wilderness. I went home for Christmas and New Year's and went up to Luleå, which is 1,000 kilometers north of Stockholm, which is empty. You know, like we went out on snowmobiles out on the lakes and sat in hot tubs and rolled around in the snow, and it's just wonderful. And so I love stuff like that. I went sailing across the Atlantic last year, and it's just wonderful to have like a month of no cell phone reception, no emails, and just like being out there. And I think when I wrap next month, I'm going to go to Iceland for a week, a long hike up in northern Iceland, and stuff like that is really, like I said, I don't think I want to live, definitely not like the East, that lifestyle, although there's something very interesting about it. But I love cities. I grew up, like I said, I grew up in a city, and I love that lifestyle. But I definitely need to get away, get out every now and then, to kind of recharge and see something where it's not just the concrete jungle, you know.
Like, at least not here. When you see the movie, you'll understand that it's a really interesting story about these group of people that get together to fight against what corporations are doing wrong, and whether the ends justifies the means is a whole interesting story. But what caused...
And they also don't even agree within the group, which I found very interesting when I first read the script, that it's a question of morality, like how far are you willing to go? And they don't agree. Some are willing to, they subscribe to an eye for an eye, and they believe that corporations should be held accountable. But fair enough, I think most people can agree that corporations should be held accountable for what they do. But then the question is, how far is it okay to go? Is it okay to break the law? Is it okay to hurt someone, you know?
So let me ask you, is there a cause, is there an issue that might get you a little militant?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things that, and I think I've been thinking a lot about these issues that are raised in the East, and I think a lot of people have, and I thought that's why I really responded to the script, because it's, in one way, I mean, it's like an old school spy thriller from the 70s with a great love story, but it also felt very relevant and modern, and I think a lot of people feel that frustration that these guys feel about the lack of accountability, about what's going on in Washington right now, and about the gridlock, and all those things are people are extremely frustrated today. So it was interesting to kind of get that aspect of it, get that into the film.
Well, terrific movie. And if also you get a chance in all the East, a movie called Disconnect, and you can always catch him on True Blood. So he's all over the map. Alexander, thank you so much.
But soon I'll be gone. I'll go to Iceland, and you won't see me.
No, we'll go meet him in Iceland so we can have out in the outdoors with Alexander Skarsgard. And this is Scott Orlin. Until next time.